Did you ever notice how William always holds George's hand? It may seem sweet, but the truth might be much more disturbing. Some experts say William demonstrates his control this way, and they really doubt that it's a good parenting style. But some people think the problem is much deeper, and it's actually Will's own complexities that's showing. Let's take a closer look. When William and George are just holding hands, William is actually passing information to his son. Because all of William's touches is not just a habit, but real nonverbal communication. With just a slight movement of his hand, William can push George in the right direction, or stop him, show him who to shake hands with, or who to talk to. To some extent, this is their sign language, and it was developed in order to rule his son's behavior. Lately, experts say the prince is obsessive about control.
He's, I would say, more of a control freak about what he wants the public to know about his life and what he doesn't.
So, why is William so keen to control everything? His own gestures and nonverbal communication also have changed a lot. He used to fiddle with the buttons on his jacket or touch his cufflinks.
His body language rituals at more formal royal events can suggest some ongoing levels of social shyness and a hint of anxiety.
But it started changing after the late queen partially handed her duties over to William. Maybe the king-to-be takes his future burden very seriously, and therefore is already trying to do everything perfectly? Great manners, great headlines, and of course, great kids. And how do you make children perfect without controlling them?
Children need discipline. A lot of kids these days just, whinge about everything. Good on Prince William. I think he's producing a really decent heir. Make him experience a little uncomfort.
And who definitely knows the discipline rules are the Cambridges. They forbid kids to raise their voices to others, even when playing kids' games. If someone starts yelling, they take them out of the room and give them a disciplinary talk. In turn, William and Kate also don't shout at kids. But they have another strict rule: a complete ban on the iPad at home. And when the kids leave home, another rule applies. If one of them starts to misbehave, Will and Kate give them one chance to get it together. And if not, sorry, it's time to go. Prince George was raised this way, from at least the age of 3. And year after year, William becomes stricter with him. Prince George is approaching the age when William himself began to actively enter royal social life. And to be honest, it was far from his best life experience. William was always nervous in front of the public. He always kept his head down, for which he was even called shy. Sometimes he seemed particularly embarrassed. And at such moments, he would touch his face, cross his hands in front of his torso, or even tug at his jacket sleeve. Since childhood, he was in the spotlight because of his future king title. And now he might be worried about his son, because he knows firsthand what this tension is like. Plus, when William was a child, he didn't get much attention from his parents. And he wants to give the emotional support to his son, which he himself lacked in childhood. So maybe as a child, little William just wanted his dad to hold his hand all the time?
William is a very tactile and present dad, but his own father, Charles, was not only at loggerheads with his mother, he also tended to look rather uncomfortable as a hands-on parent, often holding William as though he were a bomb about to go off.
William is always attentive to his son, even when it may seem like he isn't. When the Cambridges visited Wimbledon, George wore an adult suit like his father, but the young prince complained that he was very hot. So then, William did 2 things. He explained to his son that such a dress code is a rule for them, and nothing can be done about it. But also, he comforted George. William carefully stroked his hair and back, and even assured George everything would be fine. Isn't this the cutest thing for a father? And William turns into such a sweet dad when George looks for him for silent support. One expert says that there is a hidden meaning, even in the way William holds his son's hand.
Prince William even has his hand over the top of his son's, which indicates that he's the protector.
At Prince Philip's memorial service, George, for a split second, stopped at the entrance. And at that moment, William put both hands on his shoulders. This immediately gave the boy confidence, and he went in. After that, William took his son's hand so that he wouldn't get confused again and understand what he had to do.
William has curated George's appearances in a completely different way from the way his mother and father curated his. William has taken a different view. He wants to protect his children for as long as possible, give them some semblance of a normal childhood.
So, what's really behind William's constant touches? Is it a father's fear for his child? And the older George gets, the harder it becomes for William? Or is it just a convenient method of managing children in public so that they would be worthy heirs to the throne? Let us know what you think, and stay tuned for more royal bombshells.